Good afternoon, friends. How is everybody today? You guessed it. Good evening, Gramspeth. Hey, Jen. Yeah, imagine if you will. We're back at Dirty Rotten District 4 to talk about more dirty shitbags at District 4. I just figured it would be cool to sit here on the public street and watch them lock the doors again because they're gonna panic because somebody's out front doing a live stream and they might come inside and get us on camera. Yeah, reporting on the shitbags at District 4. It is a full-time job, Ghostwriter. What a day. Let me tell you about this day. I think it's really important. I'm going to document this right here because this is just getting started. And it ultimately involves a homeless individual needing help and needing to come to this lobby. Okay? Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but he didn't want to do it today because, oh, this is a hell of a doozy of a story. Let me tell you this one. How is everybody? Hey, Jack. Jen, thanks for being in here. Yeah, this is an important story. We know that District 4 is just exceptionally dirty in how they're handling the homeless. That's been no secret. It's been on camera. It's been well over a year and a half of me documenting District 4 making everything 10 times more difficult than it needs to be or should be when it comes to helping the homeless. They've done everything they can to fuck up all of my efforts, okay? We've seen video where Zaina's Jeep got impounded by some dirty, rotten bitch here at District 4 over some supposed hit and run. We have seen District 4 cite, 72-year-old Brenda for a bogus trespassing charge when she was trying to find shade on private property. And then ultimately, remember Kumar and Associates? Yeah. They decided to, oh, we didn't really mean for that to happen. Let's see. What else? The list is long. The videos are there, okay? Them not wanting to let me in their CAB meetings or Commander Advisory Board meetings, because heaven forbid, the rest of the public that attends those meetings would hear me talk. Yeah, Regan, you're forbidden in our public meetings because your behavior is disruptive. Well, of course it is. It's disruptive to the flow of fuckery in District 4. So here we are. And we're going to talk about some things. We're not going to really know if the door is locked or not because we can't see, but got somebody pulling in here that needs to go into the lobby. Let's see if she gets in there. Here comes a bus. Hopefully I don't get hit by a bus. Oh yeah, the front door is currently unlocked. Yeah. So he just went in. Well, anyway, we'll just kind of stand here on the public sidewalk and see how this goes down. So this story today involved me having to take a homeless individual down to the impound lot that the Sheriff's Department of Denver runs, because back on March 9th, apparently some undercover brothers were out doing a sting on the homeless, and they uncovered a guy in his camper with a 2-year-old petty warrant. Yeah. So back on March 9th, some plainclothes detectives, along with some regular patrol shitbags from District 4, were doing something, real important with the homeless on March 9th, the morning of March 9th. And they came across this individual, this young man, 33 years old, doing some good things for himself, but just trying to get, in front of the 8-ball instead of consistently staying behind it. So ultimately, what Denver did was they took him to jail on a 2-year-old warrant, told his girlfriend that she had to get out of the camper, okay? All of this after they illegally entered the camper with no warrant, woke them up, told them to put their hands in the air and get outside. Yeah. And I'm just sure their body cams were activated. I'm just sure they were activated, right? This morning, March 9th. So they take this kid to jail, and it just so happened that this young man's mom was visiting him from California. A wonderful human being, okay? Trying to connect with her son. And on this particular day, she got to watch the cops take him to jail. And the cops asked for documentation on this camper that he was in, okay? So he produced the title and the bill of sale and gave it to the cops. He was very cooperative. He ID'd himself, which he didn't have to do. But, they're behind the 8-ball, and you got essentially SWAT entering your camper illegally. So he cooperated. They decided to take him to jail and then hand the documents to his mom. Then they decided to have the camper towed for unknown reasons. He didn't pick up any new charges. The camper wasn't reported stolen. What else could there be? The camper is currently not on an investigative hold at the Impound lot. No new charges. He was in and out of jail in less than 5 hours, he said. That same jail that I go to and end up having to be there for 15, 20 hours, going in with a PR bond. Now, he went in with a PR bond from another county and was out in 5 hours. Isn't that something? Yeah, let's see, that cop just whipped on out of the gate, no turn signal, cut across traffic, into the Walmart parking lot. Yeah, we drive like shit on the regular. We're D4, we do what the fuck we want. So, this kid gets out of jail the same day, and he has his mom take him out to the sheriff's impound lot. Clear the hell across town. And he's got his bill of sale and his title. And he needs to get his camper, most definitely, but he's got property in that camper. So he goes to the sheriff's department, and apparently the person helping him at the window did a pretty shitty job explaining anything. Because why would we take the time to help people understand what's going on? No turn signal. Yeah, I can do what the fuck I want. So they tell him that Since the title isn't in his name, they can go ahead and keep the title. He's by himself. He doesn't know what any of this means. He doesn't understand. Stressed out, been in jail. Mind you, working incredibly hard on staying clean. Trying to get his life back together. It would only make sense that we tow his home, right? And the home of his girlfriend. Make sure she had no shelter as well. Yeah, it made perfect sense, didn't it? Well, I caught wind of all of this. So I troubleshooted with this young man and decided that, yes, indeed, we needed to go back down to the impound lot today. Yeah, thanks, Ghost. Here's the rest of the story's coming. And it's not going to be that surprising. You're going to go, oh yeah, leave it up to District 4. I want to start off by saying the Sheriff's Department has always been incredibly helpful. Sergeant Campbell, I've dealt with him several times now, and the Department of Public Safety on fees and other things that they tack on to make sure the homeless never can retrieve their vehicles or their homes. I've had very good successes working with the Sheriff's Department and the Department of Public Safety for the right reasons. Okay, they've done right every single time. They've never given me any indication of dishonesty, distrust, any of that. So I don't ever feel it that necessary to go in there and record, and I did not do that today. I figured if I needed to, I would step outside and start a live stream, which ultimately I didn't need to. But we go to the sheriff's impound lot, and we learn that, first of all, this young man went in there with his physical ID. He did not come out with it. But the Sheriff's Department has a photocopy of his ID. They say they can't find the photo ID. But what they do have also is the title with the paperwork that came in on it. And there seems to be some mass confusion with what's going on. So the woman that I've dealt with at the window before, she gets the supervisors involved immediately. She's talking to me the whole time, letting me know what's going on. Very, very professional. Very professional. So it turns out that unbeknownst to this young man, and, live and learn, when he got this title and this bill of sale from a man who advertised his camper on Facebook Marketplace for $2,000, this young man had saved up his stimulus money, went to these people's home and purchased this camper, but only saw the man. Now, there are also a shit ton of scams going on, okay? There are. Whether these people set out to scam this young man to begin with or not, I'm not sure. However, it's very, very evident that the cops, when they towed the camper, made a phone call to the previous owners because this young man had not transferred that title. And it only had one signature on it from the man. But he had a bill of sale signed by the woman and the man that were on the title. He had not gone to DMV to switch that over. He was trying to educate himself. He wasn't sure about the processes, and you're living homeless behind the 8 ball all the time. There's another District 4 shitbag. Oh, he signaled. So, the Sheriff's Department says that they have to keep the title because proper ownership hasn't been shown. And, get this, this is where it gets super, super interesting. Front doors are still unlocked, by the way. Somebody just came and went in and came out. Sheriff's Department has a phone call from the owner on the title. claiming that that's their camper and everything inside of it belongs to them. Now, how in the hell did those people know that that camper was at the impound lot? I wouldn't think that the District 4 shitbags who towed the camper to begin with would have called them and said, hey, we saw your title. We're taking your camper to impound. You can go get it there. That didn't happen, did it? And then they possibly coached those people to call the impound lot and claim their camper when this young man had the title himself and a bill of sale? Yeah, believe it, because that's what happened. So here's where the sheriff's department stands with the RV. These people that sold him the RV are committing fraud and possibly some other crimes, because the sheriff's department confirmed that the signatures on the bill of sale, signed by both of the people that were on the title selling the camper to the man, matched in the system. So they're going to double down on the hold of the camper. And if those people show up to claim that camper, Sergeant Campbell and his superiors are going to require those people to show evidence that they purchased the camper back from the man that went to jail and had his camper towed for absolutely no reason, right? It goes full circle back to the shitbags at District 4. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? This young man is adamant to follow through with this because it was a legitimate purchase. He did it with cash. He's got a legitimate bill of sale, and he had the title in his hand. And I asked Sergeant Campbell and a couple of others there at the impound lot, boy, it sure seems to me that if their RV is sitting here in impound, it certainly had to be reported stolen. How come there's no criminal case on this RV? How come it's not on an investigative hold by the Denver Police Department? What the fuck did they tow it for to begin with? Nobody could quite answer those questions. We got a bill of sale. Are you listening? I've been talking about the bill of sale the whole time. He's got a bill of sale, and he had the title in his hand. But because he didn't sign that title, and because it's missing the second signature of the woman who is on the title, the sheriff's department legally has to hang on to it because rightful ownership has not been determined. So now comes the second piece of his property inside of that camper. The best that the sheriff's department would do today to give him access to his property was for them to enter the RV and go through the contents of the RV to try to locate his cell phone and some prescriptions that were in his name. He also has other personal property in there to include his laptop and some clothing, other things of survival. But they wanted the passcode to his cell phone to verify that it was his phone. And he said, no, I'm not comfortable with that. So I tried to advocate with the sheriff's department to get an assist, to allow him, with the assistance of the deputies, to go retrieve the property inside the RV, and they said no. The legalities are that only the Denver Police Department has the authority to do a civil assist on property that they created a case for, but aren't doing an investigation on. We don't know why they towed it, but we do have this information from the sheriff's department, okay, which includes Officer R. Blea, badge number 9906, with a case number of 22117788, which is likely just a simple case report to have it towed. Yeah. So the fees for this camper are already up to $350, the impound fees, and it costs $40 a day to keep the RV in impound. An RV that should have never been towed by yours truly, the shitbags at District 4. Yeah. So the sheriff's department is advising him, I am as well, to have this same officer and everyone else who was involved in having that towed begin a criminal investigation on why these people who provided him with a bill of sale and a title are now calling the impound lot, claiming their RV is there. So you think these shitbags at District 4 are going to do an honest investigation? Do we really have to answer that? Do we really have to answer that? This kid picked up no additional charges for anything at all. So he's left with having to come into this lobby and deal with these shitbags, or we file an internal affairs complaint while that RV sits in impound for who knows how long at $40 a day. What should we do? Because you know damn good and well, if I go in there with him, I can't record because they're going to generate Sartain and Chastain, the Disdain gang, are going to fucking generate another case for me, another warrant for me, a fifth one. So what do we do? Hang on 1 second. I'm going to have a quick conversation. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, anybody have an opinion on what we should do? Because I guarantee you that this kid isn't going to make face 3 times to retrieve his RV if it's fucking stolen, okay? We're not going that route. And these scams that people are pulling on the homeless are real, okay? And now we've got the cops helping. So, I just wanted to document that today outside of District 4. So far the doors are still unlocked, but we're just going to keep highlighting all the shitbags in District 4. Sound like a deal? Because documentation is important. Okay, filing a complaint with the United States Attorney General's office in writing is not going to do shit for us in Colorado, Jack. You got to understand that we are a local control state, okay? So even if I were to do that, I might maybe get a response in a year, and they'll say, ma'am, thank you very much for inquiring. Please contact your local district of your state attorney general's office, who will then tell you, we don't have any jurisdiction over the Denver Police Department, and so on and so forth. So that's not going to work. Any other suggestions? Well, thanks, country, but I'm not a hero because the RV is still sitting in Impound at $40 a day. That shouldn't have been towed there to begin with. So if I was really a hero, I would have been there that morning and had it all on camera. And let me back up a little bit. This young man's mother, who was there visiting, she knew some things weren't right. So she started taking some pictures, and I've got those pictures. And the cops said, you can't do that. You need to leave. Interesting. Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah. She knew something wasn't right. She wasn't quite sure. People don't understand their rights. Cops are deceptive. They lie. They threaten. They steal. They walk right in your home. Better Business Bureau fraud complaint on the cops or the people? Might be an option, but I don't know what the recourse will be. Yeah, we could submit something to the ACLU. Yeah, I like that, Jack. That's good. Here in Colorado, we have the local chapter that lets you do that online. And sometimes they'll get back, sometimes they won't. You're right, Corey. Thank you very much. The problem is nobody in the position to bring the hammer down on these cocksuckers gives a shit. Yep. So here we are, still. Irish Rover. They're going to claim I'm stalking them. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to get me for something, right? Yeah. So the cops barged right into his RV on the morning of the 9th. They were banging on the outside and told him he had to come outside. And he didn't feel like he had to. He didn't feel like he'd done anything wrong. But next thing he knew, they were inside, telling him to put his hands up in the air and get outside. So tomorrow, just a recap, I have court at 9:30. Ellie has put that in yesterday's stream, that information to log into the courtroom because it is a phone hearing. Is that my mugshot down in the corner? Yeah, it is. That is a mugshot from Morgan County when the undersheriff threw me through the front doors of the courthouse and then generated a warrant after he did that and had me thrown in jail. So yeah, I got all dressed up, did my hair. I look fairly decent in orange. I'm working hard on my mugshots. You guys, my last Denver one is posted under the community section of my YouTube channel. Thanks, George. Yep. This is some dirty extra mile to punish stuff. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. This is how they're dealing with the homeless. And it's being supported by the city, okay? That's why none of them are going to be held accountable unless something changes. I don't know what's going to change, to be honest with you at this point. I mean, look at the shit they're doing to me. You know damn good and well they're pulling worse on the homeless out here. So Jack Brown, if the powers that be don't uphold the law, then as described by our Declaration of Independence, it falls on the people to put them down, as our Declaration of Independence states. I don't disagree, but, you know, unfortunately, this is just not that war, and I don't, you know how I feel about it, Jack, and what I consistently say about it, but it's not us claiming sovereign citizenry. It's these shitbags. Sovereign citizens. Exempt from all laws. Jen Wow, thank you very much. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate that. But there's just a lot more to it. And It's just not a beautiful day. This stuff is, it's very, very bothersome that they're getting away with it. Okay? They're getting away with it. So we're going to think on it for the rest of the day, me and this young man, about how we're going to approach this, because it's going to involve having to come up here to the lobby or file an internal affairs complaint and just wait. I've filed internal affairs complaints that I haven't got responses for going on a year. So that tells you that there's likely discipline involved with some officers, and that they're appealing, and that the union is backing them up. So there is no disposition letter to put out on that. And, process. So during the course of the year, those same cops that are under investigation still get to be allowed to come out here and be dirty cops. And so the cycle continues and continues some more and some more. And then some new cops learn how to be dirty shitbags, and, on and on and on and on. Then they get caught on camera and they start issuing warrants for people that catch them on camera. Imagine that. Make sure you go into my videos today. I uploaded a video from December 20th. It's called Arrested or Cited for Unlawful Conduct on Public Property. It comes out of that probable cause statement that I read yesterday, where they issued me a separate citation on the 20th of December for coming in here and handing a complaint to the person working the window. Oh, Sartain, you dumb. Yeah, go watch that video. It's like a minute long, if that. You'll see it. Charged with unlawful conduct on public property. They're charging me for that. Go watch it. All right, I gotta run because I've got people I have to go talk to for tomorrow's sweep. Yeah, you're right, Jack. Talking to internal affairs, like talking to it all you get is looks. I don't even get that. So tomorrow morning they're gonna be sweeping, and I have court at 9:30, and we're gonna do that on the phone, and we'll see how it goes. See ya, Irish Rover. Thanks for popping in. Everyone do your best to stay out of the system. Thank you, handsome bee wonder boy. I love it. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you soon.